Hello everybody, this is Dino GTO, and this is going to be a video basically talking about the ISU-122s and the SU-122-44. The reason for this is because, well, the ISU-122s it just came up on the military parade offer thing, and it's actually not terribly badly priced this time, which is a surprise because usually these things are massively overpriced and usually they come with like 7,000 gold or some shit. Um, I think the Cromwell, as an example, when it came out was like €30, and I don't know how much that is in pounds, but yeah, it was a lot. That's all I remember. So let's see. So this is a Tier 7 Soviet tank destroyer, so which means it's in direct competition with this thing here, the SU-122-44. Now, first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to compare these two against each other and just see which one I overall think is the better machine. I should just draw attention to the prices here. This one's 21.85. There's no bonuses with this one other than a garage slot. This one here gives you a crew, which I'll talk about in a minute, and 2,000 gold and a garage slot. So this one here, right now, it does seem like the better deal, but because this thing is a tech tree premium, this thing can actually be what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, this thing here can actually be purchased for 30% off, which I believe would make this price roughly £15. Just over £15. I worked out earlier on. I can't remember the exact number. I think it was like £15, 12p. But yeah. Um. So this thing here does have the potential to be about £5 cheaper than this thing here, but this thing is only available for, well, I would assume it started at 7 days, but I didn't get home until just there now. So yeah. Okay, let's compare these two vehicles against each other. Whoops, didn't realize I had that open. Okay, so in terms of overall stats, the ISU 122S is definitely lagging behind the SU 122-44 because the ISU 120. I'll highlight the things that are the ISU 122S is better at first because I feel like that will be easier. So the ISU 122S has a better DPM. It has 2 degrees better gun depression. As you can see, 6 degrees in comparison to 4. And it also has very slightly better gun handling in regards to these stats here by like 0.00 by 0.01 and 0.04, I think. Yeah, 0.04. So yeah, it's better in that regard. It has 30 more health and it has 20 more view range. In every other stat, as far as I can recall, the SU-122-44 is the better tank. The SU-122-44 is faster, it's more maneuverable, it has better armor. I'll get to that in a second. Ammo capacity, and well, overall, it's a smaller target too. And I'll get to why that's important here now. So, armor-wise, the SU-122-44 has 19mm of armor, just like the ISU-122S does. But here's the crucial difference. This thing only has 90mm of frontal armor, and it is pretty much flat. This thing would need to have like 150 frontal armor at this kind of angle in order to have the same effectiveness as this thing here. As you can see, this thing here has about 160, 170 effective armor for the most part. If you're like looking at it flat on, yeah, about 150 to 160, whereas this thing here struggles to get 100. Yeah, there's a pretty big difference in the armor. So it's about 50mm different just when they're flat on. Whenever you angle this thing, oh, it goes up to like 107. Wow. Such a sarcastic bastard. And then this thing here, when you angle it, let's try and angle it about bounce angle. I'll angle it about there. 170 up to nearly 180. And then there's this area here. If somebody hits this area here, knock out pen. Simple as that. Okay, so this thing's armor is actually effective versus all tier 6s as far as I can think of tier 6s. It's effective against most tier 7s other than the Germans and the French, the M445 and the French tank destroyer, but you never see those. And tier 8 wise, it's effective versus the mediums. But you do need to be aware that the mediums at tier 8, they have been slowly getting more penetration as times went on. Pershing got penetration buff, the T-44 got penetration buff, the suppression got penetration buff. It used to be that this thing here could troll the hell out of suppression drivers because you could track them in the open if you got them at the right angle. Because this thing, as far as I can recall, is pretty stealthy. Does this have any kind of like stealth measurement? It does not, as far as I can see. Right, so that's something that this site does not have. Okay, so I don't see. As far as I can recall, this thing is pretty stealthy because it is a pretty low-profile tank in comparison to the SU-122s. So let's see. What was I talking about again? I've forgotten. I've totally forgotten what I was talking about. So I think I was talking about mediums. It used to be when the suppressing had about 170 pen. This thing here could just troll the shit out of them because if it was using 4 degrees of gun depression, which it only has 4 degrees of gun depression sadly, so if I lower it as much as it can go and look at exactly this kind of angle, then this thing was pretty much a 50-50 pen for the super pressing, and that's when it's not angled. If you fired a shot and then angled, you were pretty much invincible to a super pressing's standard rounds, except for this area here. But don't forget, this thing is already a pretty small tank, and it also has a pretty small, I would assume, driver hatch weak point. So yeah, overall armor-wise, this thing's pretty damn formidable at tier 6 and 7, and versus some tier 8s, the occasional tier will struggle. But as time has gone on, tier 8s have been gradually getting more and more pen, so the armor versus tier 8 doesn't work as well as it once did. But that's where the mobility comes in. This thing is also faster than the ISU-122s, significantly faster. So overall, this thing here just seems to be the better package in my opinion, because the ISU-122s gets 2 more degrees of gun depression and it's got a slightly faster rate of fire. That's about it. It's a bigger tank, it's slower, it doesn't traverse as quickly. It has pretty much no other advantages other than a wee bit of gun depression, a wee bit of DPM, and that's really it, and 20 more meters of view range, but it's still terrible view range. If it had like 370 meters, then you'd be saying, yeah, I guess it's kind of usable, but it's 350. 350 is pretty awful, especially when you can't take a hit to save your life. So yeah. So overall, SU-122-44, in my opinion, is the better machine. But here is why you would consider getting an ISU-122s instead of the SU-122-44. This one detail here completely changes the game. So, crew 100% major qualification plus the Brothers in Arms perk. And what that means is it gets a 100% Brothers in Arms perk for free as soon as you get the tank. It's a 0 skill, which means it can't be removed by retraining the crew. So that is a game changer, if I'm totally honest. I mean, that just basically means you can grind repair 6 cents and all as normal, but you will always have the benefit of the Brothers in Arms. You won't ever lose the Brothers in Arms from retraining from one vehicle to another. Like, I have one of these crews in my, well, I used to have them in my UKTDs until it's old Tortoise, but the Tortoise, I had 5 crew members that were part of the Berlin, the Cromwell Berlin's crew originally, and I stuck them in the 88 and then grinded them up from there. So I have been using that crew for quite a long time, and one great thing about that crew, it's Brothers in Arms. It's not the Sisterhood of Steel thing. Unfortunately, the way the Sisterhood of Steel thing works is only effective if the entire crew is the female crew members. This Brothers in Arms perk does not work that way. The way this perk here works, it will essentially work with any other Brothers in Arms perk that you can find. I tested this out when I originally got the Cromwell B. I put that crew in the same crew as my what tank was it I put it in? I had a premium tank. What the fuck was it? I think it was like a light Mark 6C. I had like one crew member. I had a couple crew members from like one of my heavy tanks that had Brothers in Arms. I took that crew member, put it in the Light Mark 6C, and took one of the crew members from my Cromwell B and put it in that tank as well, and both of them still worked. Brothers in Arms worked on that tank. So this this crew skill will work with standard crew members. You just need to remember which ones are the special crew members, which can be a bit tricky, especially if you are a wee bit forgetful. Like I forgot I had one of these crews for my Russians, and I totally forgot to read them in my barracks for a long time. There were so many crews I could have had that crew in, or there were so many tanks I could have had that crew in, and I totally forgot I even had them. And they've just been sitting in my barracks for ages, and I don't know what to do with them. They're just kind of there. But yeah, so yeah, this is a total game changer here. It can totally change the way you play it, and this 2000 gold allows you to retrain it to whatever tank you want it to be on. It doesn't have to be a tank destroyer. You could retrain it for a heavy, you could retrain it for a medium, you could retrain it for a light. You could do whatever you like with this crew. I would just recommend, if you're going to do that, wait until the crew retraining is 50% off. Save yourself 600 gold. So, well, is it 5-man crew or 6-man crew? It's a 5-man crew. Okay, if you're doing that there, save yourself 500 gold. Wait until a 50% retraining event, and you will save yourself 500 gold with these. So yeah, it's your choice from this point on, really. Either £15 when you wait for this thing to be on sale, or £21.90, but you get the Beast crew. It's your choice from there. Personally, I like the SU-122-44, but I do find it hard to justify getting the SU-122-44 over this thing, purely because of this monstrous crew. And also, I should just mention, if this thing's being put back on sale, that probably means the Rudy, the Cromwell B, and the IS-2 are probably going to be coming back too. So be aware that if you're waiting for a particular tank, then this in the coming weeks will probably be the time to do that. So let me know, what are you going to do? Are you going to save your money? Are you going to get one of these vehicles? And which one are you going to get? Are you going to wait for the SU-122-44 to go on sale? Or are you going to get this thing here and go for that monstrous crew that you can potentially get? So yeah, I'll be curious to see what people think of these vehicles and which one they would go for if they were going to pick one. So yeah. So I think that's about everything I need to go over. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.